In this week's episode, we continue with the 2018 W Summit in Botswana. We hear from Lina Mahotlo, Africa's renowned banker and academic.
Every time I saw people doing things, delivering on the job, and giving it their best, I just envied them and wanted to do things the way they did.
And then an international exclusive. We learned leadership lessons from America's power couple, Steve and Marjorie Harvey.
When I had money, I went to Vegas. That's what I thought you were supposed to do with money. I thought you were supposed to go to Las Vegas. You could smoke cigars, gamble indoors. That's what I thought.
Right?
She said, "Are you kidding me?"
I said, it's the whole world, Steve, and you don't want to see it?
Welcome to a special episode of Inside of Her C-Suite. I'm Timothy Maurice, and today we're exploring part 2 at the W Summit in Botswana. De Beers is hosting a conversation about the shifting and evolving narrative of women. We're looking at the triple C's, and today we're looking at courage and camaraderie and how women are fundamentally reshaping leadership. From international brands, political leaders, to academics, De Beers assembled a strong lineup of speakers. They touched on a variety of exciting topics, from pioneering the new business brand to redefining success.
From the bottom to the top. You've worked at every level. You've operated 17 years as a governor of the Bank of Botswana. What are 2 things that you've done to help you get to the top?
Well, I think there are a few things. In the first place, let me just say that I wasn't counting. But I know that one of the things that I now believe in, and I can always ask people not to look at it as a negative, is envy. And the reason I'm saying there's a danger of looking at it negatively is because it's very quick for envy to slip into jealousy. So every time I saw people doing things, delivering on the job, and giving it their best, I didn't have to maybe even think about it. I just envied them and wanted to do things the way they did. And the reason I'm saying this is because indeed I started as a secretary, as a typist at the bank. That's the job I applied for. And it was because I had a boyfriend who was working for Barclays. And we were told that this bank for which I was going to work doesn't accept money from people, doesn't deal with individuals. They deal with institutions. In my mind, I just felt, let me just go to work for an institution that is going to control my boyfriend, what my boyfriend does. So that in itself, I think, gave me a kick, and I applied and I was accepted. And I worked for several leaders, central bank governors.
The Central Bank Governor of the Year is Her Excellency Lina Mahotlo.
This is quite an honor. And first and foremost, I would like to thank the African Banker Awards Committee for having found me worthy of this award. And I just loved economics and finance and investments, and wished that I could understand some of the stuff that they were delivering at. So that's and perseverance. I never give up. Once I choose anything, when I put my sights on anything, I don't blink.
How's everybody doing today? Everybody glad you woke up this morning? Good, that's right. Hey, let me ask you a question. Did y'all hear about this? There's a young lady online that went viral. She created a list of 22.
And finally, a surprise package, all the way from the United States.
We're excited, first of all, to have you in the southern part of Africa to join us on this journey of changing the narrative around women in diamonds. Marge, let's start with you. What are some of the things you've observed and learned that is happening in the women's leadership movement around the world that we can all sort of pick up and learn from in your travels? What are you learning?
Well, one of the things that I've learned, it's our time. We are taking back our power, and we're educated. We're starting with our children. I have a program, The Girls Who Rule the World, and we start with the young girls, teaching them that they're powerful women and that they're successful women and that they should be confident in their own skin. And I think we have a lot of women here at this conference here that are amazing women from all over the world that have come here to uplift each other and tell their stories. So it's a great event that they have here, and I love what they're doing here with De Beers and the Diamonds, because it's building an amazing country that they're actually, putting the money back into the country, and they're doing it the right way, and it's actually going towards the infrastructure and the education and just building an amazing country here.
Thank you. It's fascinating for me, like, you guys have options. You could be anywhere in the world right now. I saw you recently on ESPN First Take with my man, Stephen A. Smith, having a good time. You got options, you got demand. Why come here?
Well, I mean, for Marjorie and I, it's very humbling to be here, but it's also, for lack of a better word, it's spiritual for us to come here. This is home for us. Regardless, look, we're Americans. The United States is the greatest country in the world. We've benefited greatly from some of the benefits of being an American, but this is Africa. This is originally where I'm really from. This is where, when you land here, you feel a sense of being home. When you land here, you smile, you get treated so well. And I often say, coming to Africa is like going back home to a place you've never been. And people don't understand that. But I feel like I come home to a place I've never been. How do you go back home to a place that you were taken from? That's a deeper part of it. So to come to Botswana and to be a part of this women's empowerment, my wife was all for it. She's the most powerful person in our family, not me. You might think I am, but I'm not.
I think I can see what's happening
here.
here.
No, she's in charge of me. So,
based on the insights that you extract for your books, how much influence do you have over that? Do you guys dialogue? And is that how you come up with some of these sort of crisp insights that you share with the world?
I mean, a lot of it is that, it started as a little boy. I had two big sisters who did not take nothing off me. And then we have 4 daughters.
Right.
And my daughters were asking so many questions about men and boys, and I had all the answers. And so the way I was raised, having girls, and then Marjorie really freeing me up, allowing me, people don't get enough, I don't think people give women enough credit sometimes. What she does for me allows me to go and do the things that I do. But I don't do too much of nothing without her.
Wow.
I don't travel nowhere without her. My wife really exposed me to the world. When I had money, I went to Vegas. That's what I thought you were supposed to do with money. I thought you were supposed to go to Las Vegas. You could smoke cigars, gamble indoors.
That's the world is in Las Vegas.
That's what I thought.
Right?
She said, "Are you kidding me?"
I said, it's a whole world, Steve, and you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it. I said, God created a whole world.
And we've
There's
been
so much
here
to see.
this is our probably 6th
It is.
trip to
Well,
Africa.
this is our first time here to Botswana.
First time to Botswana?
First time to Botswana.
And what do you hope for your daughters in terms of, could you imagine them doing an exchange leadership program here? Because I'm sure, as you said, you've been inspired by this space. Could you see them connecting with other young women and young girls here?
Absolutely. One of the things I had said to my daughters, I said, we were literally trying to formulate a group with my three of my daughters. We were going to do something together where we could take our message globally, because I told them, I said, it's so much that young women could benefit, and it's all ages, the thing that I love. I said, so you have my age, and all of my daughters are different ages. So you connect to so many different audiences. I think that would be great.
Yeah. I mean, we've learned some things about Botswana that, if you're a citizen here, that you're entitled to an education. I mean, how good is that? And these are some really highly educated people here. And I think some type of exchange would be great, because you don't have to just take this education and stay here with it. You could take this education and go global. Absolutely. That's what it's about. I'm an American. I don't want to stay in America. I want to be global. You're from Africa. You don't have to stay in Africa. You could be global. These young people that are gifted over here to get these educations, there's opportunities worldwide. They can spread the message of just how powerful this continent is with some type of an exchange system.
I've been on this continent 10 years, and it's transformed everything about how I see the world. What do you think that Americans could learn from your experiences traveling to the continent?
There's more than just animals here. Let's first start there.
Can we start there?
Can we start with there is a real infrastructure in place. It's not dirt, gravel roads, and I understand that we have seen a lot of that. And it's not just crime, and it's not just animals, because I think people, when they see or when they talk about Africa, they don't understand that they're educated, that they have amazing resources. And if you give them the tools where they can develop and develop the land, invest into their own country, it can be amazing. They have everything here.
You cannot have a drink when I'm not around. Here's the loophole. Cool. I just sit here in front of you.
Global relationships, global partnerships, strong bonds. How much has it meant to your success? And what would you say to a young person who's trying to explore their best self about the power of these type of relationships?
Well, my career is built on relationships, purely relationships. How you walk and handle and conduct yourself in your early years, you don't know when they will pay off, but they pay off if you conduct yourself as a righteous man. That's more powerful than any school I ever went to. Way more powerful, man. Those relationships, young people have to tend to those, man. Take really good care of them.
Marjorie, Steve Harvey, thank you for joining us on the Inside of Our C-Suite.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
That's good, man.
Thank you so much.